Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lie.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion. And today, I want to talk to you guys in a bit of a follow-up to the events of Boruto manga chapter and discuss that small line that was dropped in the Boruto manga towards the end of the chapter, which is Code's threat to kill Shikamaru. So we as a community, we have been worried about Code killing Shikamaru ever since a few chapters ago because he was being held hostage during the Naruto Momoshiki dust-up. But as we all know, Shikamaru was kept alive, and that ended up being a major flaw for Code because it was a poor decision that blew up in his face. Shikamaru gained intel on Code. He saw what Damon looked like. He saw Damon's abilities. He figured out that Code was working with somebody, and most importantly, he took all that information in order to pull a reverse Uno card the moment that Code ended up getting lured into Konoha. Everything mostly went towards Shikamaru's plan. However, even with Code bringing Ada to the battlefield as his trump card, the fact remains that during their interaction in the last couple of chapters, Shikamaru has proven himself to Code as being a major problem who needs to be addressed. He's not the strongest Konoha ninja. He's not the fastest Konoha ninja. He's not gonna walk up to Hashirama or Madara and slap one of them harder than Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That's not anything Shikamaru's ever gonna do. However, Shikamaru has shown in the last few manga chapters that when he has prep time and he has background knowledge on who it is that he's dealing with, Shikamaru can be just as deadly as someone like Naruto or Sasuke. Even though he might not possess the physical strength of either one of them, his mind is just as deadly, if not even deadlier. After playing around for long enough, Code found out Shikamaru was the real one he needed to worry about, which is why before leaving, he vowed to kill Shikamaru one day. However, is Code really gonna go through with sending Shikamaru to Ninja Heaven to play shogi with Asuma again, and in the process make Temari a single mother? Honestly, at this point, now that Code has his limiters taken off and he's at the peak of his power, if he doesn't at least catch a couple of bodies, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. There should be no one who could stop him from doing so. However, one of those bodies is not going to be Shikamaru, and I strongly believe this for a few reasons. Number one, while it makes sense to have Konoha be crippled from a strategic aspect, if you're Kishimoto, there's a line that you can't cross yet. You can't have Code kill off Amato, which it looks like that's what he's about to do, and you can't have him kill off Shikamaru either. Both of them can't go. Those two characters are in the same boat as Naruto and Sasuke from a storytelling perspective. You can remove one from the story and the story can still flow along fine, but you can't take out both of them. It makes the story less believable and it stacks the deck too high to where there isn't going to be enough of a payoff for it to justify it unless Masashi Kishimoto steps back into peak Kishimoto, which is from 2004 to 2010 in the Naruto manga. So that's going to be the Sasuke retrieval arc all the way up to the end of the Pain Invasion arc, where the Naruto manga could do no wrong from a writing perspective. Amato is a treasure trove of information, but it looks like he's either about to pull a Sasuke Aizen from Bleach and be revealed as having a Grandmaster plan, or he's about to be killed off. If it's the latter, then his legacy is going to be left behind in three forms. Number one, the Cyborg Delta. Number two, the research data that's left behind to Konoha and Katasuke, and number three, the karma seal that he implanted onto Kawaki. Those will be three things that will determine if Amato is a good character or not, because they will gauge his impact on the series moving forward. Shikamaru, if you take him out right now, Konoha right now has no one to do strategy. Maybe killing Shikamaru is the major plot twist that Ikimoto referred to years ago when he said Kakashi is a super popular character, but he hasn't appeared in the Boruto manga yet, and that it's a major plot twist that Ikimoto referenced 2 years ago and said that if he were to reveal Kakashi's role in the manga, it would serve as a bit of a spoiler, a major spoiler at that. Maybe the spoiler is Kakashi returning to serve as Naruto's advisor in the role that Shikamaru had. Kakashi is certainly smart enough to do all the thinking for Naruto, but he isn't Shikamaru, but he still is a genius nonetheless. The second reason you can't kill Shikamaru yet is that there's been no real heir apparent who's been positioned in the manga just yet. When Asuma died, it was made clear in the build-up that Shikamaru would inevitably take his role as being one of Konoha's biggest assets, with Asuma going out of his way to tell his peers more than once that he believed in Shikamaru's potential. When Shikamaru's father died in the 4th Great Ninja War, it was the same thing. There was a clear build-up meant to show that Shikamaru's strategy skills were improving enough to one day be the advisor to Naruto when he became Hokage, and that he was more than capable enough to help lead the Ninja Alliance in a counter strategy against Madara and Obito. In the manga, Shikamaru's replacement hasn't been built up yet. However, if Boruto's manga continues to do what it has a very nasty habit of doing, which is to refer to things happening in light novels, like it did in the last manga chapter when Shikamaru told Naruto not to destroy the door because of Konoha's reduced budget, then you could kill him off and just draw on something from the light novels. So, in the Shikamaru Shinden novel, Morning Clouds, which I have covered from start to finish here on this channel, Shikamaru pretty much made it clear that Mirai Sarutobi, Asuma's daughter, and the bodyguard for Naruto and Kakashi, was a prodigy talent who learned extremely complex jutsu very quickly and had a mind that was sharper than Asuma's and combat abilities that he thought were more than capable enough to take down Shojoji, the leader of the Mujina bandits. And in the Konoha Shinden Steam Ninja Scrolls novel, both Naruto and Kakashi had high hopes for her as a ninja and as an asset to Konoha. You also have Shikadai, who in the Shikamaru Shinden Morning Clouds novel, Shikamaru thought that his son, while he was a little bit sensitive, he was still wise beyond his years and had enormous potential as a strategist in the future. You could shoehorn either one of those being turned into Konoha's next generation big brain, but I personally don't think that there's enough to do it, and I really think that if it's Shikadai, you're really gonna piss a lot of people off because Shikadai's been non-existent in the manga. Now, the third reason, in my opinion, why you can't kill Shikamaru off is Shikamaru dying at the hands of Code. I don't think narratively it's going to hit the way that it's going to need to, unless Shikamaru's death is used as a way to bring about a bigger change to the way that things are done in Konoha in terms of strategy and this war against Kara. The void left behind by Shikamaru's death is going to be too big. No one else besides Sasuke would have been quick thinking enough and cool-headed enough to catch on to what Ada was doing and communicate telepathically in the process. There was a very clear back and forth shogi match being played between Ada and Shikamaru in the last couple of manga chapters. Each of them were using real tactics in real time to get the upper hand on one another, gain out information, without either of them even having to throw a single punch at each other. Ada is a calculated character, calculated enough that you need someone like Shikamaru to outwit her in the future and think of a way to overcome her powers, especially if Amado does end up dying. Finally, having Code kill Shikamaru runs the risk of the death feeling like it's cheap. And by cheap, I mean the price of gas a few years ago. At least with Kurama's death, it came with us knowing that it was a method to spare Naruto from dying, and the impact that it had on the franchise was huge because it meant essentially Naruto no longer had the power of the Nine Tails chakra to draw on to amp up his physical stats. Everything Naruto would do from this point on would be with Naruto's own chakra. However, with Shikamaru, that payoff isn't there. If killing Shikamaru is done with the intention of shaking up the series in order to give the manga that much needed buzz in order to boost up sales because people want to know how it actually happened, to make people buy the manga like they did with Boruto Manga Volume 1 when the buzz was focused around, oh my god, Naruto's dead, who's this Kawaki character, and the manga volume ended up selling 400 something thousand manga volumes right out the gate. I don't think that you're going to get a similar stance like that. I don't think you can replicate that success. In short, for people who are worried that we're going to be smoking that Shikamaru pack or we're going to be wearing t-shirts called Shikamaru in a blanket, don't worry. Our favorite lazy advisor is going to be safe. However, I want to know from you guys, do you guys think, number one, Shikamaru is going to die? And number two, do you guys think it's a good idea to kill Shikamaru? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.